On the next episode of Nittany Game Week.
This is just what I live for, like that environment, sold out, Bryce Jordan Center, like I want to do that my whole life.
A raucous and record-breaking crowd cheers on the best team in the nation as they dismantle Ohio State. Why the performance is so impressive and the celebration subdued for the Nittany Lions.
It was a good step, but we want to continue taking steps. It's about winning championships here, right? That's the goal.
The baseball season is underway. How the team's mindset changes each year as expectations continue to rise for the program.
It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying my time here in Hershey.
And he's a Penn State hockey alum that currently works as the video coach for the American Hockey League's marquee franchise, the Hershey Bears. What he learned with the Nittany Lions, that translates to his role in Chocolate Town. This is Nittany Game Week. Hello everyone and welcome to Nittany Game Week. I'm Todd Sadowski alongside Ryan Yee. This is the crossover time of year with spring sports underway and the winter sports hitting their stretch run.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. 7 teams are currently ranked in the top 10 in national polls, including both the men's and women's hockey teams.
And of course, leading the charge is the #1 ranked wrestling team as Lauren Bradford shows us the 4-time defending national champs put a beat down on the second-ranked Buckeyes from Ohio State in our opening drive.
If you put on a show, people will want to come out, and that's exactly what Penn State wrestling does every time they take the mat. 1-2 matchup, it doesn't matter. Setting a new record, more than 16,000 people filed into the Bryce Jordan Center to watch the top-ranked Nittany Lions take on second-ranked Ohio State.
This is just what I live for, like that environment, sold out, Bryce Jordan Center, like I want to do that my whole life.
The boys start things out with a bang. Ohio State had been seemingly untouchable in the lightweights. Note the past tense there as Luke Lilladell and Marcus Blaze set the tone early with a pair of overtime wins.
You got to find a way, right? And obviously going in that last period for Marcus against one of the top guys in the country, and he didn't have a lot of riding time to work with, and he still found a way.
Their lone setback came at 1:41 before getting right back on track. Shane Van Ness just playing catch and release on his way to the 20-5 tech fall.
He's a big match guy. Bigger the match, the better he wrestles.
Messenbrink and Haynes handle their business, but Rocco Welsh meets his match at 184. It takes a last-second takedown that brings all of BJC to their feet to get this one done.
It's okay if you fall behind. You can still come back and win those matches. I think that's really important, something that I like seeing that more than even the win.
Keeping their foot on the gas until the very last whistle, heavyweight Cole Murasola comes up with the upset win over PA native Nick Feldman.
Yeah, I felt like I was just wearing on him the whole time. Like I knew when we got to overtime I had him. Like I just looked in his face. Like he was done, I knew it.
You don't expect a 36-5 final and a showdown between the two top-ranked teams, but as Sanderson reminded everyone, this is just round 1.
We're going to see him in a couple weeks, and then again a couple weeks after that. So it's all preparation and practice, and just trying to get better as we move along here.
The win makes it 6 straight regular season Big Ten titles for the boys in blue, who already have their sights set on bigger titles to come. Lauren Bradford for Nittany Game Week.
Lauren, thanks. Penn State women's ice hockey wrapped up their regular season last weekend with a series against RIT.
Yeah, the Nittany Lions are still without 3 starters due to the Olympics in Italy, but the 4th-ranked team in the country takes the ice, and the Lions want to finish the season strong against RIT. The Tigers apply a little pressure early, but goalie Katie DeSa stays strong in net, covers up to squelch this chance, and Penn State tries to get something going on their end. Leah Stecker collects it off the boards, gets the pass off to Sophie Morrow, sends it to the net. No one's there to redirect it in. Another chance here. Micah Keller goes behind the net before she connects with Morrow on the pass across ice. No dice on that one either. PSG with extensive time in the offensive zone. Now, they would end up losing game 1 in overtime and winning game 2 4-2. Penn State 29-5 on the season and host the AHA League semifinals coming up next weekend. It's a best 2 out of 3 format. The women's Olympic hockey tournament wrapped up this week. PSU captain Tessa Janicki and her teammates on Team USA capture the gold medal by defeating Canada in the final. They end up undefeated in Milan. Meantime, in the bronze medal game, her teammate, sophomore forward Nicole Hall, and PSU alum Jessica Adolfsson lose to Switzerland in overtime. As for the men's team, their trip to Ann Arbor is one they prefer to forget. It starts off pretty good in game one, less than a minute in. After face-off against the Wolverines, Matt DeMarsico steals the puck, gives it to J.J. Wiebusch, makes a crisp pass over to Reese Laubach. And this game would end up tied up at 4-4. Michigan prevails in a shootout. With a big story from the game, though, Captain Dane Dowiak on the ice for a couple of these clips. He suffers a season-ending upper body injury. Dowiak says he'll still be supporting the guys off the ice. Nevertheless, head coach Guy Godowski says this one stings.
Yeah, it's a tough one for us. However, it's hockey. We've dealt with it before. He's still going to be a huge part. He's still our captain. He's still going to be a huge part of the team. But on the ice, obviously, right now we didn't need to lose another centerman he was our top guy in draws. So that's on the ice. That's going to be significant there. But he's still our captain. He's very much involved. He brings great value as a captain and a leader, and he still will.
It doesn't get much better the following night for the Nittany Lions. Michigan controls most of the play in their 6-3 win. The men host Ohio State for 2 games this weekend at Pagula.
We shift over to women's lacrosse, where number 21 ranked Penn State has been rolling. 3 wins to start the season. And up next, their Pennsylvania rival from the Northeast, number 20th ranked Pitt. In their first-ranked matchup of the year, the women's lacrosse team calling it their Morgan's Message game in support of the organization work surrounding athletes' mental health. Blue ribbons to support the cause, repped by head coach Kayla Trainer and her staff. Scoring didn't take long, though, to get started. Just 3 minutes in, Anna Salerno receives the pass inside, finishes with a nice shot to put Penn State on the board first. Then check out this sweet play. Delaney Radin hits Kelly McKinney, and when the goalie least expects it, it's a behind-the-back no-look shot, goes top corner. The Nittany Lions go ahead 3-0 to their Pennsylvania foe. But what would be a back-and-forth affair needed overtime, where Penn State edges out Pitt in a thriller to win the ranked affair 12-11. Over to men's basketball. If this doesn't reflect the type of season they're having, I don't know what does. Right off tip-off, Rutgers with a nice alley-oop play, taking all but 7 seconds to get on the board first. Penn State struggles out the gate, takes them 7 minutes to get their first points that you see there, thanks to a nice Caden Mingo jumper just outside the paint to make it 11-2. In a better second half, Penn State puts up 52, but the slow start just too much to overcome. The Nittany Lions lose to the Scarlet Knights, 85-72. Coming up, the weather may not feel like it, but Penn State baseball is in full swing. After a monumental year, the team is setting their sights to achieve even more in 2026. More Nittany Game Week is on the way.
The opening drive is sponsored by R&R Express. Every shipment moved contributes to autism research and inclusion through the Excel Foundation. Learn more at wearerr.com.
These are more than just trucks. Every shipment moved by the R&R Express family of companies contributes to the Excel Foundation for Autism Research and Inclusion, funding safe spaces like the sensory room at Penn State's Beaver Stadium and a special event sensory trailer, and giving thousands that were unheard a voice.
Now is the time to amplify non-speaking voices and drive meaningful change.
These trucks are powered by purpose.
Every week, our groundskeepers are meticulously mowing, painting, repairing any damage from the previous game in preparation for Saturday. Our contributions to the team are providing safe playing surfaces for the athletes to showcase their abilities on. There's a lot of history here. Being able to be a part of that has been incredibly special for me.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. There's no shortage of expectation this year when it comes to Penn State's baseball team. Expectedly so for a team that racked up its second highest win total in program history last season. However, for the players and coaches in that clubhouse, there's unfinished business. Penn State baseball is back for 2026.
There's not a word that describes how excited myself and all my teammates are. It's just unbelievable. We've, been inside, locked up, grinding away hours and putting in the sweat just to get outside this past weekend and going forward this season, and it's just, we're ready to let it fly and can't wait to be back home and play in front of our fans and just everything like that.
A year filled with expectation following a season where the program racked up its second most wins in its history. And back-to-back Big Ten semifinal appearances for the first time since the early 2000s. The Nittany Lions, however, are aiming for more.
I think the big thing coming off of last year is just not being satisfied that, like, yes, it was a good step, but we want to continue taking steps and continue taking chances about, you know, it's about winning championships here, right? That's the goal, is getting into the NCAA tournament, like I said, and a chance to go to the College World Series. So last year was a good step, but nobody around here is satisfied with not hearing our name in the selection show or you know, not finishing in the Big Ten tournament. We want to raise a trophy there too.
I don't think the job's ever finished until we're the last team, you know, that wins, that ends the year without a loss. I feel that last year we had a great year, you know, second most wins in program history, a lot of great players, a lot of guys got drafted. We brought in a lot of new faces this year. We know that they can fill and exceed those expectations that we have for ourselves and that everyone else has put those expectations on us. We know we're ready to go and just excited to finally start getting games going.
With a new and improved roster, a blend of many familiar players mixed in with a handful of fresh faces.
We're a very talented team. Obviously, we have goals to go to regionals, win the Big Ten tournament and everything like that, but I think it comes down to sticking with the process and kind of going day by day.
We tell every kid that we're recruiting here that, you know, if winning's not important, this is not the place for you. If you're not attracted to being part of something bigger than yourself, this is not the place for you. If a closely knit clubhouse of tough competitive kids that want to compete with each other but go out and compete together when we play an opponent, like all those things are things we talk about. We want kids that care about this degree, but we want kids also that want to play in the big leagues. So you sort of put a group of like-minded kids in the clubhouse, and it allows that culture to come together.
A new team that has a challenging start to the year. 3 straight weeks on the road. But similar to the theme of the season, they are embracing the challenge.
Try to weaponize every disadvantage. We look at it as an opportunity. We get to go play somewhere different, whether it's at another school or in a neutral site. We get to show off what we can do in another place and give them our best. And I also think it's great that road trips, they really bring the team together. That's when guys really, you know, you're just no one else to hang out with but your team, and it's great.
Ready to put on a show for fans when they return back to Medler Field.
Freshman year, I redshirted, but I was still at all the games, and we'd play midweek games, and you know, you just have your 20, 40 people. Now it's like, this is the main thing to do on a Tuesday night. Like, everyone's coming to the game. It's awesome. Doesn't matter who we're playing. It's going to be electric. It's a little extra energy boost when you look in the stands and it's just no empty seats. It's unbelievable. We're very appreciative for that, the support we get at Penn State, and we hope to put on a good show.
So the softball team has already racked up 8 wins, and we still have a week left in February. You've heard the saying, everything's bigger in Texas. That's certainly the case for the Nittany Lions run total. They win 4 of 5 games in Houston last week, outscoring their opponents 39-6 in the victories. And they treat the host team's pitching staff rather rudely. Up against Houston, have a day. Allison Oneacre, the freshman slugger, all over this offering, sends it over the wall. It's her 3rd home run of the day. Nice addition to the lineup. It pairs well with returning slugger Brooke Clausewitz, as she's going to take this pitch to the opposite field over the head of the outfielder and brings in a couple of her teammates. They rough up the Cougars 10-2. A very successful trip to the Lone Star State.
Fighters fight, right? They knocked us down in that first game, and I had no doubt that our kids were going to get back up. And again, regardless of outcome, we talk about going 1-0 every game, and our student athletes definitely did that. So definitely proud of them. It's an awesome game.
Now the softball team is back on the road this weekend for 5 more games in Orlando. Central Florida is the host team Notre Dame, also part of the tournament. Up next, our Impact interview with a former Penn State hockey player and assistant coach that is now part of one of the top franchises in the pros. What Bill Downey learned in State College that translates to his work with the Hershey Bears. Nittany Game Week returns after this.
Good morning. Door installed. Let's show these guys how it's done. What's up around here? Oh, no. All part of the plan.
Taking doors off, putting doors back on. What a world.
So I just gotta come back tomorrow and finish the trim.
There's a reason West Shore Home is America's most trusted home remodeler.
That looks good.
West Shore Home, remodeling reimagined.
It's the Pocono Mountains. We're in the fun business. With our world-class water park resorts, when it's cooling down outside, it's still summer inside. Our cutting-edge attractions are just so much fun, both indoors and out. You decide, then completely unwind from that fun-packed day. 3 great water parks, all in one awesome place. The Pocono Mountains. It's in Pennsylvania, the great American getaway.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small-town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
We are back on Nittany Game Week. Time for our Impact Interview. Bill Downey is a Penn State alum that played club hockey for the Blue and White, and now he's a video coach for the Chocolate and White, the Hershey Bears of the American Hockey League. He also held a similar position with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and I had a chance to talk with Bill about his time in Happy Valley and how he's made the jump from PSU to the world of professional hockey.
Yeah, there were rumblings at the end of the summer that it might be happening, and it's been a long time coming. Like, I think it's been talked about for a number of years, and I know there was talk of the NHL going there for like a Winter Classic or something, but I think ultimately they wanted to have a Penn State game first to have that opportunity for the student athletes there. And you know, I think Terry Pagula envisioned so many things for the hockey program there, and obviously helped us get started with the Division I program. But you know, I think just thinking about all the stuff that went in behind the scenes for years leading up to it, a lot of people really took that game in and enjoyed it after a lot of hard work.
I'm going to guess that you were not surprised at all that almost 75,000 people showed up to watch that game, knowing what you know about Penn State fans.
Yeah, Penn State fans are so passionate. There's so many around here in Hershey, and they're always talking about not just the hockey program, but Penn State sports in general. And anytime anything's going on, like even that weekend, I think they coined it as like the winter weekend. My family was able to get up there for the men's game, so it just seemed like it was really well done. Their first class up there, so I think it's no surprise.
You got out there for the alumni game on Sunday. What was that experience like to look around? I mean, obviously there wasn't as many people there, but to see the vast size of Beaver Stadium.
It's a strange feeling. Like I kind of compared it to when Pagula Ice Arena opened. Like you almost don't feel like you're in State College because it's like nothing you've ever seen before. Being there with all the fellow alumni was great. Like just seeing the smiles on everyone's faces, and I think it gets back to just all the hard work that has gone into it, you know, dating back to the club years. There was a lot of passion and commitment to what the program was, and then they kind of carried it forward, obviously, when the Division I program started, and it's just been great. And then, you know, I think Coach Godowski's done a great job. I have a great relationship with him, keep in touch with him, and you know, I think he's kind of carried that torch forward and really embraced the alumni too, which I think has really helped bridge the gap from the past to the present.
Your history with Penn State. Went to school there, graduated, and then club hockey, but part of the transition, you know, can you give us a little kind of just brief synopsis of your connection to getting that program up and running, Bill?
Yeah, so when I went to school there and graduated in 2004 and played 4 years of hockey there, and you know, I think even dating back to when I was playing there was rumblings that, you know, they wanted to move to Division I, and I think we had high hopes of it happening while we were student athletes there. But then I had an opportunity to go back and coach with the club team, and there were rumblings that, you know, things might happen along that time frame. And then we got wind that there was a potential donor. We didn't know Terry at the time, and eventually met him along the way. And at the time, my wife was working for the university as well, and she was chosen to write the proposal for the Pagula gift, which was kind of neat because she's a writer herself. And just kind of having her come home from work and talk about how does this relate to Penn State, and how can we, you know, talk about it from a hockey perspective. It was neat to see that. So we kind of knew that something might happen. And then I was actually in the process of moving to Boston at the time, and the day I actually was working at, I got hired at Harvard, was the day they announced the Pegula gift. So I kind of saw it through the club era, and then I left for a year and went and worked up in Boston, and lo and behold, Coach Godowski got hired at Penn State, and then I think 2 days later he asked me if I wanted to come back to Penn State. So it was a quick trip to New England, and then right back to Happy Valley. So and then when I got back there, like I see Pegula Ice Arena now, and I think about the shovels going into the ground and just the kind of the planning and construction phase of that, and it brings back a lot of good memories. Both my daughters were born during that time frame, so there's a lot of great memories that my family will always look back on. A lot of great times there, and my wife, not only did she work there, she's an alum too, so we got a lot of connections up there.
Video coach-wise, now with the Bears, how did your experience at Penn State help what you do now? How did it get you on the path that has landed you here in Hershey?
Yeah, there was always kind of that coaching and video coaching element to what I was doing. At one point, we actually had planned on hiring a video coach after my first year back with the Division I team. That was kind of the plan, and then they were like, well, you're already doing it, would you want to do it? So at that point I was like, yeah, I'll take that on, and it was always my way of kind of keeping my hands involved with the hockey side of it. I enjoyed and excelled at the operations, but at heart I'm a hockey guy, and I love the game, and it's kind of taken me to a number of different stops. I keep ending up in Pennsylvania, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying my time here in Hershey.
Very cool conversation with Bill. Make sure you go to nittany-game-week.com for all of our Impact interviews, along with other web-exclusive content like our Nittany Connect network of businesses. Don't go anywhere. Still to come, a sure sign that spring is on the way when we will see the football team on the field for Blue-White Weekend. Next, we're heading into the final minutes on Nittany Game Week.
He's trying to get people to know how to watch PTN.
This should be easy.
He thinks that streaming happens in nature.
How do we sell PTN? Cable?
Broadcast. Newspaper.
Streaming?
Streaming, yeah. You can't stream a vacation, but you can stream PTN to plan a great one.
Find the PTN app everywhere that you are.
These are more than just trucks. Every shipment moved by the R&R Express family of companies contributes to the Excel Foundation for Autism Research and Inclusion, funding safe spaces like the sensory room at Penn State's Beaver Stadium and a special event sensory trailer, and giving thousands that were unheard a voice.
Now is the time to amplify non-speaking voices and drive meaningful change.
These trucks are powered by purpose.
Nittany Game Week is brought to you by West Shore Home, official partner of Penn State football.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. A spring game that no shortage of Penn State fans look forward to has been finalized. PSU announces the football team's blue-white game is set for Saturday, April 25th. There will be a chance for the Nittany Lions faithful to get their first look of the Matt Campbell-led team. More details on format and start time is expected to be announced by the school in the near future. Now it is time to give a shout out to some of Penn State's standout athletes in this week's Nittany Game Week's Dean's List. We got three to mention. Starting with men's hockey, Reese Lawback earns Big Ten third star of the week following his 3-goal weekend performance against number 2 ranked Michigan. In softball, you saw what she did. Allison Oneacre was named unanimous D1 Softball and Softball America National Freshman of the Week after a stellar performance at the Houston Invitational. Then in men's volleyball, Sean Harvey named EIVA Offensive Player of the Week, a big driving force behind number 16th ranked Penn State in their weekend conference wins over Princeton. Great stuff from this week's Dean's List honorees.
And we are bringing PSU fans and alumni together with our Nittany Connect network at nittany-game-week.com. The goal is to partner with businesses that support the show and let our viewers know about their great products and professional services. Make sure to check out nittany-game-week.com for all of our web exclusive content, previous episodes and interviews, They like to make it one-stop shopping. It can all be found at one convenient location.
And while you're visiting the website, make sure to submit your tailgating and game picks, as we always finish with some pride picks.
Make sure to show us your spirit. For Ryan, I'm Todd. Thanks so much for watching Nittany Game Week. We'll see you next time.
Every week, our groundskeepers are meticulously mowing, painting, repairing any damage from the previous game in preparation for Saturday. Our contributions to the team are providing safe playing surfaces for the athletes to showcase their abilities on. There's a lot of history here. Being able to be a part of that has been incredibly special for me.